Good morning, my dear students. Today I am going to discuss components of computer system. Components of a computer system. Students, when I am talking about the computer system, what comes to my mind or to your mind? That means hardware and software. Hardware and software. Okay. Because without hardware, software cannot work, and without software, your hardware cannot work. Okay. So here I will discuss the input section, processing section, and the output section. I will discuss the memory section also. So first of all, I will discuss what are the characteristics of a computer. What are the characteristics? Why I will go to buy the PC? What will be the benefit of PCs? Purchasing PC from the market. Okay. So first one, you have the characteristics of a computer. Now, first one, that is your speed. You want whatever the information instruction that I have given to my PC, that information, that instructions, that data must be processed and I should get my output. Okay. So how you can get your output? By the help of output device. But before the output device, there is one section that is called as your processing section. So it should be processed. But if your PC will take your data and process it after a minute, will you buy the PC? Never. Because I want, yes, my work to be done within fraction of a second. Yes, computer can do it. Not only this simple work, it can perform millions of instructions. It can process millions of instructions within a fraction of a second. So this is my first characteristic. Second one is versatility. It means a variety of tasks. If it is my PC, I can use this PC for playing games. I can use this PC for watching movies. I can use this PC, yes, for other work also. Not only that, if this PC is my home PC, can I utilize this home PC in school? Yes. If I'm a bank worker or bank employee, can I use this PC? Yes. In bank, yes, I can use it. Okay. Yes, can I use this PC in defense? Yes. Only one thing that will vary, that is your software. On which software you want to work, that software must be installed. Now, the next one is accuracy. What do you mean by accuracy? Perfect, accurate. If I given 2 plus 4, computer should give me 6, not minus 2. Okay, that is called accuracy. Yes, obviously, if you have given, yes, right information, right data, then surely you are going to get the right output. You might have heard about the GIGO. What is GIGO? What is GIGO? GIGO is garbage in, garbage out. If you have wrong input, you will be getting the wrong result, wrong output. So that's why I have used this term, GIGO. If garbage is given, then you will get what? Garbage in, then garbage out. So you must be very careful that whenever you are feeding the data to your PC, that data must be up to the mark. Okay. Now, the next one is reliability. Yes, it is reliable. Okay. Whatever I want, that my PC can do it. Okay. Students, one more thing you have to know. As whatever the work that is given by someone, that we can do it. But if anyone asks from me that you have to do this work again and again, as I completed this task, again do it, again do it, again do it. What I will think or what I will decide to overlook such thing, because same thing is done again and again, that becomes a boring part. But computer never says this. You give the same task again and again, it will never say that I am tired, I will not do this work again and again, so please give me a new work. No, this is the part of reliability. Next one is storage capacity. You all know, my friends, if I want, if I want to store my data, then what I will do it? I need a secondary storage device where I can store my data permanently, so that in future, if I want that data again, I can get it, because already it is saved in my hard disk, already it is saved in my pen drive, already it is saved in my memory card. Okay. Now, the next part is the limitation of computer system. Now, in other way, you can say which your computer cannot perform. First one, taking decision. Yes, computer itself cannot take decision. Yes, in that case, you have to give, or you have to remind, or you have to say that this part you have to do it. You have, if you want, yes, my computer should, yes, be operated, then you yourself have to, yes, start it. If anything that is to be done on self by the computer, then that computer may be harmful for you. Suppose I have given such type of, yes, programs, yes, to my friend, and that program can do anything itself. How the human think, yes, that computer also can think it. What will happen if your PC will be out of control, my dear? then it can harm you, my dear. If I have to send this message to here, instead of that, computer will send message to other one. Maybe your confidential information also can be leaked. So this type of programming is never done, yes, by the programmer, because if they do so, they will be in trouble. Okay, we are doing the program where computer can take the decision. Like I have been given to make a program to find out the smallest number among three. Okay, yes, I can make the programming, but data I will give, computer cannot take decision. Computer will ask the value from me. I will give the three numbers, then computer can, yes, show me the smallest or the biggest number. Okay, decision will be taken by the help of program, but the data will be from my side. Okay, now inability to express idea, inability to express idea. Computer will never have the sad face. I'm tired. Please give me 5 minutes rest. No. Computer can work, yes, without giving a break. You know about the server? Is any server closed? Never. It is a functioning. It is functionable. Yes, so for 24 hours, 24 into 7 into 365 days. Never you will see the server shut down. If server is shut down, there will be a huge loss of company. Okay, so company cannot have a huge loss. So that's why they are having a server. If in case, yes, I'm not present, my server is on. Server can do all such type of work. Okay. Next one, inability to learn. Inability to learn and implement. You know, we learn something from the past. If something happens wrong, if suppose I have given some work to you, and that is to be like assignment and project I have given to you, and I have given already the deadline. On that date, if you will not submit it, you will get 0. And you all are aware, if I will get a 0, obviously my result will be poor. So you will, if you will be not submitting your project, you will get 0, and you are aware already, because last time I have not submitted my project and I already been awarded by 0 marks by such teacher. So you have learned from the past. So that's why in future you cannot commit such type of mistake again. But here computer cannot learn from the past. Every time computer is dependent on you. Okay, whatever the activity that you are giving to the computer, you have to give it. Itself computer cannot learn the activity. Oh, yesterday, yes, my user has played game, so I will start this game again automatically. No, you have to do it. Whatever my user has done mistake in level number 3, that should not be repeated again, so I will give help. No, it cannot be. Such type of help you cannot, because computer works on your program. How you have made the program, in the same way it will function, my dear. Now the next part, that is your areas of application of computer. This I am not going to discuss, my dear, because in the last class already I discussed use of ICT in healthcare, use of ICT in school, like that one. So I'm not going to touch this part. Now the next part, that is your core functions of a computer. Students, I'm going to end my meeting, and again I will start my meeting. So you will come back. Now students, I will discuss core functions of a computer. You can see this diagram. Here you have the data, process and information. If I'm talking about the data, it is what? Raw facts and figure, which has not been processed. That in data you have to give it. Okay. How you will give this data? By the help of input device. And what will be the device's name? It can be your keyboard, mouse, it can be joystick, it can be other input devices. After that, it will go to the processing section. It will process your data. Now, after processing of data, just wait. Yes. After processing of data, it will go to the output section. And how you can get your output? There are different devices, yes, through which you can get your data. It can be your printer, it can be your speaker, it can be your plotter, it can be your headphone. So these all will be your output section, which is going to, yes, get those all information from the processing section. But sometimes what happens, we are not going to show this output. We want this one as the soft copy, and I want that this data to be stored in the storage device. Then I will use my external drive. It can be my pen drive, it can be my hard disk, or it can be other type of external devices, okay, where I can store you my data. So here what I'm doing here after processing, I'm going to store my data directly in the hard disk. It happens, suppose any work that is given to me, okay, that work I have done it, but some part that are left, which is to be done next day. So what I will do it, I will store such type of data, yes, in my hard disk, and next day same file I will open, and I will complete the rest work, and I will join that both, and then where to be sent, whether it to be printed, whether it to be sent through email. So whatever activity that I want to do it, I will do it, yes, next day, because my earlier data already saved. Like I'm talking about the calculator. Calculator can have your data stored. I have done calculations, this all, that all, and after that when I will switch off the calculator, what will happen? All my data will be washed out. Okay, so in that case I need a secondary storage device where I can store my data without any problem. Okay, now the next part that I'm going to discuss, that is related, again related to the computer system. So when I'm talking about the system, computer system, then the two parts are involved. One is the hardware part, and another one is the software part. I'm going to discuss the hardware. These are the physical devices. These are the physical devices, okay, yes, which is going to be connected, yes, to your CPU. Suppose I want my, yes, headphone to be connected. What I will use? I will use the back panel of my CPU. Okay. I want my monitor to be connected. I will connect it, yes, via my CPU, because CPU is going to control all the units. As you have seen, the back panel of your CPU There you have the number of ports. Yes, keyboard port, mouse port, USB port, DVI port, HDMI port, many ports are there. Using this, you can be able to connect it. Okay, now when I'm talking about the hardware, then main two units are there. One is your input unit and another one is your output unit. Input and output. See, when I'm talking about the input unit, automatically what the devices that comes to my mind? Keyboard, mouse, yes, joystick. Okay. When I'm talking about the output unit, yes, what the components, what the parts that come to my mind? Printer, plotter, speaker, headphone. So these all devices. But when I'm saying hardware, then my input devices will be also hardware. Output devices also will be the hardware. And some hardware that you have inside the CPU, like your motherboard, your hard disk, your SMPS, your RAM, your processor. Okay. Now the next part, that is your software. Software, when I'm talking about the software, that means collection of programs. No, program is what? Set of instruction. But you know, to make a software, we have to write different programs. And then we have to join these programs to give the shape of software. Okay. So if anyone asks, what is software? You will say software is set of what? Programs. Okay. Now, when I am saying software, then you can classify this software in two ways. In some book you will see you have system software, application software, and the programming language. In some system you will see application software, system software, and utility software. But main two I will discuss, my dear. First one is your system software, and another one is application software. See, both are different, but when you have your laptop or desktop, first of all, you must have to install your system software. What is that? Is your operating system. Even you have your mobile smartphone, that also contains your system software, because this is the software which is going to control your devices, control your units. Yes, whatever application software that you will install it, that also will be controlled by system software, that is your operating system. Your smartphone maybe have Android operating system, Windows operating system, Mac operating system, maybe your laptop, Windows operating, Unix, Linux, whatever. So when you buy, first of all, you have to install your operating system. After operating system, you can use the application software. When I'm talking about the application software, it means special type of, yes, work that can be achieved. Okay, if I have my MS Word, only I can, yes, write my letters. If I have to draw the picture, MS Word cannot help me. If I have to edit my photo, MS Word cannot help, because it can perform only such type of work that is related with word processing. But if I have to edit my photo, then I must use Photoshop. Using Photoshop, I can edit my photo. If you want to have the animation work, you have KineMaster, many other applications are there. You can do it. If I have to watch a movie, I will use MS PowerPoint? No. I will use the video media player, Jet Audio King, or other type of software, VLC media player. Using this, I can watch the movie. Okay. Now, yes, next the part that is given in your book is memory unit. You know, this unit also plays a vital role in our computer system. Think about, if you have no brain, you have no memory, will you be able to decide? Never. If I have given you sweets, you cannot know that it is sweets or it is other thing. That means taste you cannot give it. What is the taste of this sweet? You cannot predict also, because your sense organ is not functioning. Even if any circumstances that comes to you and you have to tackle that situation, in that case also you cannot just tackle it. You cannot come out of control of that situation which happened to you, because your thinking, yes, power has already been lost. Same here in computer also, memory unit plays a vital role. If I am saying a memory, then it can be classified in two ways. One is the primary memory and another one is the secondary memory. Now, when I'm talking about the primary memory, you have two types of memory. One is RAM and another one is ROM, random access memory, and other one is read-only memory. Students, this is my volatile memory and ROM is non-volatile memory. First of all, you have to know what is volatile memory. Volatile memory is temporary memory, which will be in your PC, yes, when your system is switched on. But once your system gets switched off, whatever information that you have in your RAM, that will be lost, that will be washed, that will be removed. But when I'm talking about the ROM is non-volatile memory. Okay, because here whatever startup instructions are there, that will remain there. And one more thing, in RAM we can write and erase the data, but in ROM we cannot just erase the data. Whatever data that is, as per that it will work. You know, when you start your PC, first of all your ROM works. Understood? Because it has startup instructions. So whatever instruction that is required to start your operating system, that all instruction will be done. That means it just let the other one units to be alert. Input, keyboard, be alert. Mouse, be alert. And if in case there is a problem in the input unit, it will flash a message. Keyboard not found, mouse not found. Okay. After that, your OS gets installed, gets loaded in the memory of the computer, that is in the RAM. When I'm categorizing this RAM, then there can be the different RAMs. It can be PROM, it can be EEPROM, it can be double EEPROM. And okay, because you don't think that if I'm talking about the ROM, it is a PROM, it is EEPROM, and this one, let me write it clearly. EEPROM, first PROM, EEPROM, double EEPROM. See, what I say, whatever information that you have, in, that you cannot erase it. Okay, but using this EEPROM and double EEPROM, you can erase it. It is called erasable programmable read-only memory. This is called electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. You have, yes, the way to erase your information in your room only by this technology. But actually, this technology we are not having. We only, yes, use the ROM only for starting our PC. Okay, not for erasing and writing a new, yes, program and trying to save this one in the ROM. No. Next one is your RAM. See, when I'm talking about the RAM, again, RAM is also divided in two parts. Okay. See, first one is your SD RAM. That means another one is the DD RAM. Okay. See, students, this technology is found in our PC. Okay. Due to that, yes, our PC performance can be better. I will discuss about the cache memory. Yes, this memory will help, yes, the processor to process the task quickly. I will discuss. So first of all, you have to know what is RAM, how many types of RAM are there, yes, ROM, how many types of ROM. Yes, other ROMs are also there. Okay, but you have to know only these three. Now, next part is your secondary memory. You know why we use the secondary memory? We use the secondary memory to store our data permanently. Here in RAM, it cannot be permanently. But I want this my data to be safe so that I can use this data tomorrow or after a week or after a year. I can do it only by storing my data in the secondary storage device. There are different secondary storage devices. You know, you have the hard disk. One is the internal hard disk, another one is the external one. Using the USB port, you can connect your external hard disk and you can store the data. You can use the pen drive, you can use the memory stick. Okay, there are different devices found, okay, in the market where you can store your data, yes, safely, so that this data you can use in future. Now the next one is your cache memory. I want to enhance the performance of my PC so that my PC works faster. Then for that you have to use the cache memory. Okay, whenever you are going to purchase your system, please keep it in mind. Only looking at the processor, RAM, hard disk cannot solve your problem. You must have to see your cache memory also. What is the actual use of cache memory? You see, if the burden is given directly to the processor to perform that task, okay, several tasks, what will happen? Your system will be very slow. Your system cannot give the output just quickly. So to just give relaxation to the processor so that processor will not have burden, in that case cache memory is used. Directly you have your data should not be communicated to processor, it will go to the cache memory. If the solution is there with the cache memory, directly cache memory will solve it and it will go give back either to the RAM or it is to be given to the hard disk, wherever it is. Okay. So if suppose I have been given some work, okay, and I know that work cannot be done within a day, I can take help of my colleagues who will come and help me. That task which I cannot do within a day, that I can do easily within a day or maybe within an hour also. If more persons are involved in my, yes, activities, okay, then surely my work will be easier. I will not have burden that much. Okay. So same way here also your cache memory acts. I hope you all have understood these all topics, my dear. Thank you.